Hey guys, I just wanted to cover real quick how to treat certain keywords when you're doing SEO planning. Excuse me. Especially keywords that are unique because their geo-targeting might be confused in Moz. So this is just an example, but when we look at Dave Smith, for example, he has a city in his territory called Oregon. And if you look at the Moz scan, it's showing us that he's not ranking for that keyword at all. And so when I see keywords like that, like Oregon, or like a city that probably has 5 or 6 different cities with that same name throughout the US, and our client isn't in the big primary city that holds that name, but it's in like some nowhere man's land out in mid-America, Midwest or something. I always am critical of what results I'm seeing from Moz. Okay, so probably when we added this, we should have added a further qualifier like refrigerator repair, Oregon, and then OH, or the whole word Ohio, because that would have gave us a little bit better of an indication how this is ranking in Google. So here's a few ways you can check that. The first thing I would probably do is re-add these with the state qualifier so that your Moz report doesn't look the way it looks right now. That's the first thing I would do. Then I would, and if you're wondering, okay, do I need to SEO for Ohio or not, or Oregon or not, because Moz is saying it's 51 plus, but let me just double check that. So anytime you have a city where you know that there's probably 5 or 6 of these particular cities throughout the US, or it's a state name that is actually a city name, make sure you double check Moz. So the first thing I do is I'll come over to Moz, go incognito, and just look and add that extra city qualifier like I told you to do in Moz, just to see what is Google polling. And I can see Dave Smith polling in position 4 there. And you can also see that Ace and Sears are polling as well, even though that Moz report was showing us that they weren't. That's because if you do a search like this, and even though Moz says it geo-targets based on what city you market, that clearly is not true. Because if I just do appliance repair Oregon, I get different results. I get sharper, look at that. Anyway, so that tells me that what Moz is showing me isn't right. The second place I can look is you can come into Google Ads, and you could use the ad preview and diagnosis tool, and that's what this is here. And what you could do is you could set it to that actual city location and then perform the search. So I did this appliance repair, no city qualifier, and it's showing me that if I were in Oregon, Ohio, and I searched just appliance repair, I'm going to see Dave Smith in position 2. So I think it's important that when we are looking as far as like SEO for keywords that are showing in Moz, that they're not pulling, that we kind of just manually check what customers are actually seeing, because Moz is not always 100% accurate. And what we don't want to do is go optimize something that maybe doesn't need to be optimized. If we didn't catch it, maybe we were like, well, let's just add a page, it's still not pulling, and we're kind of in this panic stage. And in fact, we could be doing more damage because it's already pulling, and then we have multiple page pulling, and that's how you kind of get into those messy page situations like we have with a couple of our clients. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Thank you. Bye.